look at that. That's amazing. You can see my face now. I have to back away so you can see. Hello. Hello, Internet. I just want to show off the GameKid without anything else in the way. So I'm going to do it like this, as I have planned previously. So I'm going to start over. All right. Milk my cows. Hi. This will come with a Raspberry Pi and also without a Raspberry Pi. You can get it as a kit, or you can get it as a fully assembled thing. In the future, it may only come as a kit, and then in the far future, it may again come as a fully assembled unit. But for the Kickstarter, we are going to be doing both. All right, so I'm starting over this whole explanation. I'm probably going to be ignoring chat a little bit, but Kitty Loves Robot is in the chat, and she will talk about the GameKid. Juju Fish may also show up, and he knows a bunch of stuff about the GameKid too. And then once I'm done explaining everything, we can go back into the chat, and I can do like question and answer kind of thing to get people more information as they're asking. Yes, Kitty's gonna spread lies, exactly. All right, so let's get going. This is the GameKid. It's a Raspberry Pi powered handheld retro gaming console. This is a 3D printed glow-in-the-dark prototype. Our actual version that we're going to be launching on the Kickstarter, or giving out on the Kickstarter, is going to be a enhanced version of this. There are some things about this that we want to change, and I'm going to go over what those are and things we like about it, things we are going to be improving. So let's get started. We've got stereo speakers. Those are awesome. They really kick. D-pad, your buttons, start and select, standard video game stuff. On the back, we've got 2 trigger buttons. So you can get up to like a full like 16-bit era console. HDMI out, so you can actually plug this into a television and then plug controllers into the USB ports that are on the top, and have like a living room console. You can also plug in a LAN cable, and I'll go into why you might want to do that later. Power options button. Option button is up here right now, but we're actually going to be moving it down somewhere on the back. It's going to be like a little extra start select thing for a bunch of the RetroPie menu features and so on. The 3D printed case, you can see at probably there are some you see all the 3D printed lines and some like things that might look like scratches along the surface here. This is all prototypey 3D printed stuff. These aren't actually scratches. This surface is like ridiculously smooth. And we may be sanding the front so it gets a little bit more soft, and it gets a lot of these lines out of the surface. You can also see there's like this little splotch here in the front. This is from glue that we put down on the screen plate to attach it to the front casing, and that's going to be changed and fixed on the final version. We've been experimenting with how to attach that properly without having some color discrepancies in the plastic. We've also got the seam here on the top that goes across. You can see it's kind of it's broken in here. This thing isn't properly attached. This seam just is terrible, and we are going to be changing it and bringing this all the way up and in and around so that just is a more solid connection, and the ports appear a little bit more lined up, and yeah, making it super professional. Also on the case, we've got like spots down here where that's a little bit off. We were experimenting with placing bolts into the 3D printing as it prints, and actually using that to secure the case. And in places, it worked amazingly well. Like this is just a super solid connection up here on the top. But down here in the bottom, it not so great. And we know why, and we're going to be fixing that in the next prototype. So that's going to be a significant improvement. Let's see if there's anything else I want to go over on the front casing or back casing. Oh, back here on the HDMI port, you can see that there are this has had a lot of work to it to get this nice and smooth back here, and it looks a little funky. And that's part of the 3D printing process. You get support structures in here that we've got to cut out and move. We have a totally new system that we're going to be developing so that this will be a nice smooth surface instead of just all scraggly and lots of cleanup time. All right, I think that's it for the outside stuff. I'm gonna power the sucker on. So we're running a Raspberry Pi 2 inside of here. This little logo here is going to be changed over to a cool GameKid startup screen, a little video as it boots. It's going to pop into Emulation Station now. It runs, actually the operating system is Raspbian. And Raspbian boots up to a combination of Emulation Station and RetroPie. RetroPie kind of ties all of the consoles in together on a single configuration, and Emulation Station lets you boot and launch things. And we've got a custom Emulation Station theme that we're working on. Some of the theme is not finished yet. Some of it is. So it's going to look similar to this. You can scroll through all the different cool games they might have. Some of them, like this here, has the wrong, like this information won't be on the side. Or it might. We're still working on the theme. We're just trying to get it, you know, super cool. Let's find a game to load. So, that's how that works. You can do cool stuff like hold down the option button and click up on the D-pad. Bring the volume way up. Or down. We're actually going to be hooking up the left and right buttons to change the screen brightness on the new display that we have in the final version. You can also hold down the option button to do stuff like pop back to the menu. The option button and pressing different keys will also do things like save a screenshot or save and load save states, and bring up like way more options than you should be messing with. So it's actually really, really configurable in that way. I'm just going to play some video games, because that's, you know, that's appropriate, I think, for this stream. I want to show off that, you know, I'm doing terrible because I'm being watched. That's what's happening. Wow. Yeah. This is awful. Let's let's see if I can pull open a save state. Nope. I don't have any save states loaded. This is probably the worst Super Mario Bros. 3 run I have ever had. Wow, I couldn't even grab that? That was awful. And I missed the star. This is, oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. I feel like I'm letting everyone down. Let's try to get my shit together here. Oh my god. What am I doing? Ah! You know, it's because I'm trying to, like, show the screen to the camera. I'm just not even holding it right. What? Yeah, it's definitely because I was like, here, look at the GameKid, and now I'm not. Now I'm like, I'm getting serious, and it's fine. Oh, I'm not going to do the warp whistle. That's cheap. Oh my god. Alright, enough of that. Enough of that. Ah. Bail out. So, what else should we go over? Bum, 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 bum. Not quite sure. Yeah, that's we're really happy with the way that the button feel has worked out. A lot of people are mentioning that, oh my gosh, how dare you make the buttons square and not tilted? And well, we like them square. We actually grew up on NES controllers, and actually the Game Boy always felt a little bit off to me with the buttons tilted, and we kind of like them like this. It also saves us room. I mean, when you tilt the buttons, you're actually like increasing the vertical space that the buttons sit at by quite a lot. There's a handful of reasons we've decided to go with this, and we found that it doesn't affect gameplay at all. So we're gonna most likely keep it like this. We're really happy with the way it feels. So, let's say you've got a cool GameKid and you want to add more video games to it. What you can do is you can pop like a USB drive of some sort into the top USB ports here. It will copy a directory structure onto that USB stick, full of different emulators and ports directories and all kinds of stuff like that. You can take that USB stick, pop it in your computer, and then you copy games that you want onto that, and you pop it back into the Pi, or to the Pi on the top, and the GameKid copies all those games over into the right folders and gets them set up for you to play. You can also plug a network cable into the back port here and browse to a web server on like / GameKid, and you can actually drag and drop stuff over the network right into the right places, upload games that way. So there's multiple ways to get games on here. We also really want to reach our store stretch goal so that we can build a shop right into the Pi where you can buy new indie games that are natively built for the Pi, and also new indie games that are being made for the older consoles, like new NES games that are coming out, stuff like that. I think I have some on here. I should see if I have Lizard on here. Aha! I have the Lizard demo. So like people are making new games for older consoles. Like this game is a brand new game. It did not exist in the NES era, and it's amazing. So we want to support that. We want to give a place for developers who are making this stuff and don't want to. Well, they will also maybe want to put a game on a cartridge, but also want to take advantage of like the digital distribution that could exist in the modern age. And we think the GameKid is a good starter for that. This also has a 5-hour battery life. So this thing is going to run for quite some time. You'll notice like the boot up and shutdown times are maybe a little longer than you like, and that's just because it's really actually a full-blown computer inside of here, a full-blown Linux computer. So it does have to start up and shut down, but the thing is the battery lasts so long. I often just turn mine on at some point in the day when I have some free time, and I just leave it on and just pause the game and keep it on, play it when I want to, that kind of thing. I don't turn it on and off so much. Along those lines, this is actually, because it's actually a full-blown Raspberry Pi computer inside of here, you can pop a HDMI out to a TV. You can put a keyboard and mouse into the USB ports up here and start a operating system, like you start Raspbian up into like to the X windowing system, and then you have like a full-blown computer. You pop a LAN cable in there or a Wi-Fi adapter, and you have like you can surf and browse and do all the things a normal Linux Raspberry Pi computer can do, and that's pretty cool. You can also pop the HDMI to a TV and 2 controllers into those top USB ports, and you have a portable console you can just bring over to your friend's house, pop into the TV, and relive all those awesome games that you played as a kid, or if you are a kid now, play the cool retro games that your parents played when they were younger. And we're really excited to bring like that kind of thing back to people. This is just something I keep in my pocket all the time, and whenever I have a free moment, I like to relive, my childhood a bit here and there. We are still like in a super early set of stuff here, where this is all, I think this is like RetroPie 3 beta. So so there's a stereo sound coming out of those speakers. There's also a audio jack there on the back, or on the bottom, so you can plug in headphones. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna like kick into taking some questions from the chat, see if we can get some questions from everybody and answer as best I can onto the stream. Somebody's asking if there was if USB speakers or headphones would work, and I have no idea. I have not tried that. I think in theory that could happen. If you go onto the RetroPie website, and I see if somebody can link to RetroPie in the chat, you can see a list of all the emulators that they do. And actually, there's even more that you can get for RetroPie that will work. So there's a ton of stuff. And it runs stuff like Cave Story. It runs Doom and Quake and tons of other games, older games that have imported to the Pi directly. And we're hoping that it will run a ton more indie games upcoming. We're going to really push to get devs interested in making games for this device. We're running what we're calling the Raspberry Jam during the Kickstarter, and we're going to be, just having like a whole week of making a game. We're going to make a game. We're going to make a game called Super GameKid, and I hope other devs that we've talked to will come in and make cool new indie games for it as well. It can run Super Nintendo games. Let's see what I have on here. Boop. Yeah, so this is all the software on this is open source. I think Raspbian's open source, the RetroPie is open source, and Emulation Station is open source. So you can totally mess with every last little detail. And yeah, there's enough buttons here to play SNES games, so you totally can. There is no Wi-Fi or Bluetooth embedded in it, but you could put in a USB Wi-Fi adapter and get Wi-Fi working on it. And lots of people have. So this is running off of a Raspberry Pi. So there's everything that the Raspberry Pi has, Raspberry Pi 2 and this one, it has. And we're selling these as a kit as well. So if you already have a Raspberry Pi just sitting around, you can get the kit version and just actually give your Pi a home and something useful to do. I haven't started a Zelda game? What? I have on my own. Yeah, I should show you guys where this actually came from. This idea of ours. I am not going to start a whole game of Adventure of Link right now. So, This whole project that we started actually spawned from a Christmas present that I started putting together. I went ahead, got a bunch of old broken Game Boys, and jammed Raspberry Pi A+s into them. So this is my own personal Game Boy. They call these relics. And I threw these together. I made 3 of them. And yeah, they're based off the Triforce. This is Power. There's 2 others, Courage and Wisdom. And I've made other videos talking about those in the past. Anyway, yeah, so I built these. I gave these to family members, and I just love it so much. I wanted to do more with it, and we ended up building this. And I want to get it out to everybody. I want everybody to have one of these because they're just that awesome. Yeah. Yeah, we do normally use Unity to make games. I would love for Unity to be able to push stuff out to the Pi, but they don't currently. I've been looking into a lot of different engines, and before I start the jam, I'm gonna try out a couple things and find one I'm really happy with. If all else fails, I'm gonna use Pygame, which a lot of people are using to make quick little games for the Pi. Funky Lizard, I'm sorry you think that this screen is too small. We think it's just perfect. It's just a little bit bigger than the original Game Boy screen. And we find this size and this visual format for the GameKid to be like why we desire it so much. This one has a Raspberry Pi 2, but it supports the Raspberry Pi B+ and also the A+ through an adapter. Boom, 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 boom. You could get one of those magnifying lenses and put it on if you wanted to make a horrific mock of this machine. You could totally do that. Yeah, the fully assembled units that we're going to have on the Kickstarter are going to be going out with a Raspberry Pi 2. Oh yeah, and it charges via USB, micro USB on the bottom there. Oh, side-by-side comparison? Yeah, sure. It's pretty much exactly the same banana. The current GameKid is actually just a little bit thicker than an original Game Boy, but not enough that I would call it any different. Oh, that doesn't work. That's right. So we're still actually still working on the software end of things, trying to get everything working perfectly. Oh, you know what? I don't have Game Boy Advance working at all on here. I have it working on mine, but there's some things that we won't be able to, like some emulators that we won't be able to include or put in as a fully functional emulator. Because there are some legal issues around BIOS files or just the commercial use of things, but it's really easy to get new emulators on here. You can actually do it by just hooking up an internet connection and throwing some commands in one of the menus. And we're going to make that kind of stuff available. Yeah, but it will be able to do Game Boy Advance games, yes. You'll just have to set up the emulator a little bit on your own. Oh, right. A lot of MAME games need to be, we have to pre-configure. So this is part of the thing that if you were going to build this on your own, there's a lot of like configuration work to get each of the different consoles all set up. And before we ship these out, they're all going to be set up and all ready to go. Right, so the emulators themselves, this is all perfectly legal, because we're not sending it out with any games. We're not sending out any emulators that have any kind of special open source attribute kind of craziness. So we're trying to be really careful about it. It is not. It's very unfortunately impossible to load Legend of Dungeon on it. That's just a physical impossibility. Also, Tiny Plumbers as well. We would have to completely remake them to get any kind of version over there. I would love to do that at some point, but you know, one thing at a time. We are going to be making a game during the Game Jam. We're going to make Super GameKid, which is going to be a roguelike, so. Unfortunately, Xer, that it will run a version of Windows 10, but I don't know all the details about what that actually means. Like what it means that it's running a version of Windows 10. I don't know if we can export universal apps to it. I would like to be. I'm definitely going to be testing that kind of thing, but I wouldn't make any promises at this point that anything like that will really actually work. What do you press? Oh, there it is. Oh, I missed it. I'm gonna do terrible here. Oh, messed up. Horrible. Horrible. I'm horrible at video games. I'm sorry. Oh. It has been so long since I've played Wipeout. Yeah. Oh. Oh, I missed him. Oh my glob. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not terrible. I mean, it is. I was terrible. But, you know. So we're also going to be setting up like a forum and subreddits and all kinds of things. We are going to make sure that there is a lot of information out there about how to get everything set up. And there's already a ton of information because this is running RetroPie. And there's a huge amount of resources out there for getting things you want set up and running on the GameKid. And then for more specific stuff like configuring the GameKid buttons and making sure that each of the consoles work for you, that'll be on our end of things, and we'll make sure it's all perfect. We're also going to be streaming pretty much every night of the Kickstarter. We're going to be showing off retro games and cool things. My brother and I are going to sit down and we're going to play tons of cool games, tons of like ROM hacks and new indie old console games. So yeah, this is again, this is a 5-hour battery. It's got a 2,500 milliamp hour battery in there, a LiPo, and yeah, it runs about 5 hours on it. I'm mildly concerned about continuing this video because I actually haven't charged it in a while. And we've been showing it off and playing it a ton. So if it like turns off in the middle of us streaming, it's because I've forgotten to charge it because it hardly ever needs charging. So this is a 2.4-inch screen. The resolution is good enough for games at that size. I mean, you can see. I guess you can't. Well, maybe I can get the focus on this to change. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see if you get real close to the camera, and I'm like putting this right in front of the camera, you can see pixels on there. But you can't see pixels in real life from this far away. So I think it's pretty good. We're really happy with like the color and the display. You're seeing like a washed out version on this camera too. The visuals are actually, we're really happy with them. We don't have a current way to see the battery life. We have some things we want to put into like stretch goals on the Kickstarter. Oh well, there is like the lighting that's coming through the back side here. That's actually showing whether it needs to be charged and things like that. And currently, it's just rocking. We're probably gonna move those LEDs to different places depending on what versions we get out of the Kickstarter. But our stretch goals are gonna add some cool stuff like soft power switch, so that when you turn it off, it actually sends the shutdown command to the Pi and takes care of turning all the screen and everything off for you. The current version, you have to go through a menu and hit a shutdown button to turn the device off. But We can do more, but it's just a bit more of an expense, and we'd rather give it to you currently for cheap in a functional way than make it unaffordable. So, but if we hit that stretch goal, we're totally going to put the soft power in there, and better LED placement too. The dimensions of the device are almost exactly the same as the original Game Boy. It is just a smidge thicker. I don't believe there is a suspend state for the Pi. So this is a ROM that somebody made for the Atari 2600. It's not the best, but it is amusing. Yeah. Thanic. Oh, it doesn't work. Did this one work? I've been trying to set up different games on here, and some of them go and some of them don't. Yeah, this one works. Again, we're going to be putting up like all kinds of like helpful things to make sure that you can get your stuff up and running. Yeah, I don't have any of this MAME stuff set up yet, which we'll have all pre-configured for you. Oh. One of these works. We've got to clean up our current set of games on here so that we can show it off a little bit better. Hold on a second. So this is something that you won't that you won't have to do. I'm putting in a USB plug into the top, and then I can get at this menu here. Down left, right. Okay. Oh. Anyway, you get the idea. Can't play with Leonardo. I gotta play with Donatello. This is awful. You get the idea, right? Cave Story. You mean like the coolest game ever? Where is it? I haven't gotten very far on the Cave Story that is on this machine. Oh, it's the wrong button. Jump. So much dialogue. Ah. This is the version that was made for the Pi, yeah. I love that he gives you a decision here. You can fight him or not. Let's do it. Oh. Yes! Just barely. Okay, fine, I won't go through there. Alright, I got the key. Alright, I guess you get the idea. Whoop. Anybody have any more questions? So Steampunk Hippie, that is not actually totally out of the question. On the Pi 2, you can actually stream, and this might be the way to play like Legend of Dungeon on the GameKid as well. You can stream from Steam through a special app, so that you can play Steam games from your computer, which the computer has to be running, granted. So you could just, like, you're going to have to be within, like, Wi-Fi distance or plug in a LAN cable into the GameKid. But in theory, through Steam and through your own computer, you could play games like Counter-Strike. I don't know how you'd set up the controls, but you could play it, like, in theory. You could almost definitely play Legend of Dungeon across this. And that's something we want to test out, and we're going to try to do during the Kickstarter. You know, because that'd be hilarious and fun and interesting. Yeah, and this also, guys, this is the prototype. This is not what we're going to be sending out exactly. Things like the amount that the buttons click and move. Like, if you look at, like, an actual Game Boy button pad thing, it's way louder. That's just the way that these machines were built. And also the way that this microphone picks up sound. So what you're hearing may be significantly exaggerated. Oh, it's Light something, the name of that app. I don't remember. I'm gonna be looking it up, and we're gonna be streaming it at some point here, so it will definitely happen. A Pi 2 is $35. So we totally have multi-controller support. You can plug controllers into the USB ports here in the top and have up to 4 players. You can also plug into a TV through the HDMI port, and then bam, you've got a portable console that you can just take over to your friend's house. Oh yeah, and Quake runs like really well on this. Ah. I think I got these. Yeah, these are hooked up to my Straff. Oh, maybe this is too violent for the stream, guys. So much pixelated violence. Guys, I'm not good at video games. I think we've come to that conclusion. At least not on stream, I'm not good at video games. Isn't this a button? Oh, that's switch. Let's jump. Okay. Is this blow upable? Yeah! Oh, I'm missing. Oh, man. Oh, man. There's like monsters in there, isn't there? I think there was monsters in there. I'm just gonna ignore them. I'm out of nails, guys. Completed. There is a stereo jack down here. Totally. There is a volume control. You hold down this and you go up and down, and it actually turns your volume up and down. You can see a little like display. Oh, not in focus, but you kind of see a display here when you turn the volume up and down. Tells you how many decibels it's at. We try to get everything covered. We're pretty excited about it. Oh, does Duke work? I can't remember. I don't remember if I got Duke working or not. I know it does eventually. Oh, it totally works. Oh, actually the buttons might not be configured for this one yet. Oh, no, it is. It's wrong. Okay, not all the buttons are configured yet. Oh, let's kick. So yeah, I've got to fix the button setup on this, yeah. But in theory, you can see how it's gonna work. See if I can set the controls up. Anything that's built for the Pi will probably work, and doesn't need a mouse. So this uses the arrow keys. This is actually a keyboard press up, down, left, and right. And these are just letter keys on the keyboard, all of these. So any game that you can configure, like Duke Nukem here, you can set up to work. Straff. Oh, it turns straffing on. Huh. Alright. How do I go back? I have no idea how to go back. Ah, okay, I can't set this up now. So a lot of our stuff... Oh, there we go. Well, that's how you go back. Okay. Is that not working now? What did I do? Does this work? Yeah! Oh, okay, hold on, hold on. Oh. Anyway, you get the idea. You can set up games to work pretty well. If you do put it on your TV, you can change the resolution that it outputs at. Yeah, so we really wanted to keep it in this like format here. You know, like that's really important to us to get this retro feel. This is what the kind of shape that we love. This is the kind of setup that we want. So we don't want, you know, analog pads and stuff like that. We may in this future do some sort of like different version with analog sticks and stuff like that. But this is about a device that resonates with our nostalgia. The display does turn off if you hook up a TV, yeah. All right, I think I'm actually nearing the end of streaming here. I think I'm gonna call it a day and like export most of this stream out to YouTube. So I think it went pretty well. Does anybody have any last questions before I end the stream? I'm just gonna exit that. It cannot show Twitch streams. Well, okay, so you can on the Raspberry Pi. So if you put a mouse and keyboard and internet connection in this, and you if you boot up Raspbian, you can actually watch Twitch streams and do anything a normal Raspberry Pi computer can do. So I guess yes, it can watch Twitch streams. I mean, more or less. Can play old DOS games too, which is awesome. I don't know how many people even know what Commander Keen is, but to me this is like the game of my childhood here. Alright guys, well, I'm going to call it a day then, and I hope you guys will be watching out for our Kickstarter. Oh, and also, let's put a link to the game.